Hello and welcome to Career Track by Climate Connect, a series where we explore the journeys of people building careers in the climate space. I'm Harsha, and welcome to this episode where we dive deep into understanding climate communication. I'm very excited for this episode because the guest is someone really special to me. We have Garvita with us today, who's a marketing and communications manager at TechnoServe. She plays a key role in Greener Sustainability Accelerator, and I know her insights on communications and impact will inspire you. Garvita, thank you so much for being with us today.
Thanks, Harsha, for having me here. Really excited to share whatever little I know. And thank you for the warm welcome.
Yeah. So I have a lot of questions for you. But let's just start with your background, right? So can you share a little bit about your background and what you do currently?
Okay, so I'll start from the top. I am a mass media student, and I've been born and raised in Andheri, to be specific. I completed my master's in English literature some 12 years ago. Uh, so while studying, I started my career in entertainment journalism. Going from there, I moved on to lifestyle writing. I then built a career with Bombay Times. I was working with them for 3.5 years. Uh, I used to cover city stories, I used to cover campus stories, a little bit of lifestyle, culture, art, bit of everything. I've always been a shy person, but this work that I did here challenged me to step out of my comfort zone, approach people, and try and hold conversations. Uh, but the most important thing that I learned throughout all of this was discipline, how to complete tasks under pressure, and how to spot narratives or things that you should really care about while writing or putting your story out there. uh, After my stint at Bombay Times, I shifted to brand communication roles. It's where I learned that communication is not just about writing or talking. It's something as small as a sticker on a switchboard that tells you which button is for light versus fan. Right? It was during my stint at Saffron Stays. Uh, Also, I come from a family of educators, and I've always been passionate about a role in climate or something, where I give back to the society, a role from where others benefit from the work that I do. As a journalist, it was about informing people about stories that they were not really aware about. Then, when I moved to hospitality with Saffron Stays, it was about showing people the value of, spending time with loved ones. And it was not just a marketing gimmick, it was genuinely where we were trying to tell them that hey, take some time out over the weekend and make memories. We weren't selling a hotel room, we were creating spaces for meaningful connections. And there was also a sustainability angle to that as well, right? We weren't building new homes or hotels. We were reusing existing properties, creating livelihoods uh, by employing the locals as caretakers, as cooks. And everyone in the team, including the founders, embodied those values. So that was where I really came closer to sustainability as such, to brand communications, to storytelling. During that time, I was also, teaching at my alma mater for a semester. I was teaching brand communications and PR to a set of students pursuing mass media and management studies. Uh, and I later worked in EdTech, where we were focusing on upskilling and helping people do better. While at it, I was always trying to get a foot in the door in sustainability, right? All through my 10, 11 years of career. I was always hoping for getting a chance at working with a not-for-profit. But I do understand that my knowledge about the ecosystem was limited. I did not come with the educational credentials that were required to be in the space, and I was a fair ask from all the employers who denied me a job back then. Uh, but when the opportunity to work with TechnoServe came my way, I grabbed it with both hands because it exposed me to green startups and climate entrepreneurs. And it also, allowed me to combine my communication ability with impact. And sustainability is also something that I practice in my daily life. It's not just something that I talk about. So it sort of felt like a natural fit. And I think I've overshot my time.
No, no, that's great. So you've pretty much been always about sustainability and impact throughout your life, right? But I think right now you got the opportunity to full time contribute to this space. That's great. So many people think of climate action as tech or policy or something that people do on field, like on ground. Why is communication just as critical?
I think exactly because of the same reason, right? Because people think of climate action as one big thing, like tech or policy. But for me also, until I was acquainted with the space before COVID, right? COVID is when I actually got to learn more about sustainability because of the influencers that I started following during that time. But for me also, it was a lot to do with solar panels or like doing one big thing. But you and I both know that there is so much happening. Communication is critical to show people just that, it is to tell people that it is okay to start small, right?
Yeah.
uh, I know a lot of people who experience climate action paralysis, right? Like saying things like, what will happen if I just replace my plastic straw with a metal straw or a paper straw, right? And we've had those conversations, and that's a very valid pessimism, right? But what is also true is that all of us, if we start doing one thing, make it a habit, progress to another, and keep implementing smaller changes, keep talking about it, sharing it with people, it can make a real difference, right? And that's why, uh, when you see so many creators on Instagram raising awareness in fun, relatable ways, breaking down data in, easy to understand language, it is quite encouraging, right?
Yeah.
And I feel just like you follow food accounts, you follow fashion accounts, meme
Yeah.
accounts, it will also help to follow a climate influencer, because then
Yeah.
your algorithm suggests you more climate related content. And it's not an alien concept, right? We are experiencing all this in real time.
Yeah.
So, communication, what it does is it makes people relate. It helps you in drawing parallels. It helps you in understanding your lived reality and the real time impact. And then at the end of the day, policy and tech eventually need people's acceptance, right? And communication helps in building that awareness, that
Yeah.
trust. It demands action. So I feel like without storytelling, even the best of solutions will not be able to scale.
Right. So a lot of our audience are young professionals, young people who just want to enter this space. What misconceptions do they think they would have about communication's role in sustainability? And how can we sort of address them?
Right. I feel like marketing and communication is often seen as, oh, anybody can do it, or oh, it's just fluff, or you're just hyping up things, or you're just exaggerating. But to be honest, especially in the climate and sustainability space, we are not exaggerating. It is true, right? And what we are being able to say is probably like some 0.0001% of it. In reality, uh, climate communication is a lot more than that, right? It's about bridging the gap between science, technology, and the public understanding about it, right? It's not just about saying the right things. It is about translating complex data into content that people can relate to, be it through words, images, videos, memes, storytelling formats, whatever works for you. Um, I also feel that, taking from the fluff factor that I just mentioned, one thing that climate communication absolutely needs is empathy, right?
Mm.
And that's why, even though the demand for, professionals in the climate space is increasing, it is still seen with a little hesitation because, people are like, oh, what package will I get? Of course, it's a fair thing, right? But I feel like people working in the climate space need a bit of an empathy because it's critical. Climate is a lived experience for everyone today, and communicating with sensitivity and authenticity is what will make people engage and act on it.
Nice. Makes sense. Just to help them understand what exactly is it that you do, can you just walk us through, let's say, a campaign or a project that you've done at Cleaner from conceptualizing it to actually implementing it?
Okay, interesting. So I'll tell you a little bit about what we do at Greener. So Greener Sustainability Accelerator is an entrepreneurship accelerator program for green startups. It's pretty much evident in the name itself. No mystery there. What we do is we onboard a cohort of 150 startups. Close to 150, 155 startups every year. We have mentors, business advisors on board with us who sort of work very closely with these businesses in their scale up journey. It's a year-long program, right? It's one of the largest accelerators there is. It's supported by the IKEA Foundation and Visa Foundation, and we've been doing this for almost 2.5 years now. We are currently running our third cohort. So it's an extensive year-long program where every startup gets a business advisor who works closely with them on certain pain points that they have in their business. We help them with fundraising, facilitating, financing options for them. There's a roadshow that we have. There are a lot of capacity building workshops that we conduct for them, and try and connect them to investors and corporates, across the ecosystem, right? So it's a pretty extensive program. I'll stop at what we do at Greener. I'll speak about the mobilization campaign that usually we do for the program every year. I've done that for 2 years in a row now. So a normal campaign starts with asking the regular questions that every campaign does, right? It's about asking what do we want to say, where do we want to say, how often do we want to say, and in what formats, right? The idea is to keep it simple and consistent because we want to communicate the benefits of the program, the impact that the program has created so far. There are a lot of parallel activities that go on around the same time. We launched the post on social media, followed by a press release by Newswire. This year, we also created a brochure. So every year, we are also learning, through the questions and through the feedback that we receive from founders and our ecosystem partners, and seeing what others also in the space are doing. We participate in events. Every team member is like a spokesperson for the program, right? So they reach out to the to the startups that they may know of. They reach out to ecosystem partners that they are familiar with. We reach out to our startups who we've already accelerated so far. We've so far worked with 200 plus startups, and with the new batch on board, there's like 130 plus more, 140 plus more startups right now. Then we have a network of ecosystem partners, who also mobilize on our behalf and send out the call for applications. There's an email marketing campaign that runs on the sites. It's one of the biggest channel for us. And everywhere we go, be it an event, be it any social gathering also, we are always pushing the word out there. We create a social media toolkit, which contains communication that goes out on WhatsApp, LinkedIn, emails, and in-person meetings as well. We've made a conscious choice of not using paid digital marketing, and we instead just focus on organic, relationship-driven outreach. The impact over the last 2 years that we've seen is a stronger pipeline of green startups. I think we've pretty much tapped into all sort of startups, green startups that there are. We built deeper partnerships, and Greener's position as one of the largest and most unique accelerators is quite out there, The momentum existed even before I joined, but what we've been able to do is amplify the work and make it more visible.
I mean, that's great. And that's a lot of things going on, right? I mean, from uh, posts to testimonials to just events, there's a lot of things going on. So, you've said that you work with 200 startups and you're going to be working with 130 plus more in the next cohort. So, I mean, with so many climate entrepreneurs in the accelerator, how do you decide what stories to amplify?
That's a great question. And that's a very difficult choice that we have to make sometimes, right? Because every day some startup is doing something really wonderful. And it's really hard to put out so many stories out there. But what we look for essentially is, the scale of impact that they've been able to achieve. The founder, their commitment, their role in, achieving whatever that was, and most importantly, what was our role in their success, right? um, uh, the guiding principle through all these stories is, will this story inspire action, whether that is about a customer making a switch or funders showing interest or corporates being able to explore partnerships. It's a difficult choice, but you've got to make
Yeah,
it.
no, I get it. So now moving on from that, right? I also wanted to sort of understand from you, if someone wants to get into climate communications right now, what are the possible entry points for them? How can they start getting into it?
Right. I feel like, actually having a social circle really matters. So, maybe find out a course. I mean, too bad there was nobody to tell me that there are so many things happening back in the day. For me, it was serendipity, but what you can do is, maybe enroll for courses, that deal with climate action, that are speaking about, sustainability. So you end up with like-minded people, you get placed in the right places. And there are plenty of NGOs for grassroots storytelling. There are plenty of startups who you can reach out to. The founders for all these sustainable startups are really hands-on and very active on, say, a LinkedIn or something. So reaching out to them with a genuine request about, wanting to intern there or wanting to work there, that really helps. There's a green angle to every role nowadays, right? So every corporate or that's into CSR has a sustainability vertical to it. Uh, and there's also media, that's extensively covering climate journalism, though it's not very mainstream as yet, but there's media as well. And a lot of impact investors, uh, that are actually just focusing on climate communications per se. More importantly, I believe that you need to have the passion for it, right? You will just, if people see that in you, they will hire you irrespective, what you've done in your life, or, what background, what jobs you've done prior to this. The urge to work will often take you further than your formal background sometimes.
Makes sense. I mean, the passion is important. What would you say are the main skills or tools that people should be focusing on to build a career in communications?
Right. So writing and storytelling, most importantly, right? I'll say something really corny here. There's AI, but there's also I. So put yourself into your work. If you don't bring the conviction and personality, the content that you put out there will just be more noise. Having some sort of social media fluency, right? Understanding how different platforms can elevate your message differently. You might think that Snapchat is not a great way to do climate communications, but that's where your youngsters are. If you can tap into them, why not? It's not just like LinkedIn or doing long blogs that will get you the eyeballs that you need, right? A basic sense of design and data storytelling, making numbers accessible, understanding what will appeal to the media, right? Framing stories in a way that journalists care about, right? Whether it's new data, a timely event, or just a very fresh perspective. And lastly, analytics, right? Being able to measure your reach and engagement, and then using those insights to sort of refine your approach.
Hmm. No, I think that's very well said. And that's going to help a lot of people listening in. So also, just building on this career aspect regarding communications, right? Are there any hidden roles or like less obvious roles in this space that people might not know about and that they should be looking towards it as well?
Yeah. So there's one thing that I've also been trying to do, and hopefully, I'm able to do it. It's about community management and climate ecosystems, right? Because climate communication is not competition, it's more about collaboration. It's not like, running ads for a
Yeah.
product, right? It's about, so community management is one. Then there's investor relations and climate funds. Um,
Mhm.
then storytelling within climate tech or research organizations. And then there's also knowledge management roles, right? And a lot of development agencies, because data is key. Uh,
Yeah.
so yeah, these are a couple of things that I can think of.
Okay. No, that's really helpful, Garvita. So, if you could instantly change one narrative about climate in India, what would it be?
Hmm. Okay. I believe India as a culture has always been sustainable, right? We know how to make the best out of waste. We know what to do with leftover food in very creative ways. We know how to reuse old clothes creatively. And in village or tier three towns, there's like immense wisdom about minimizing waste and living a very simple life. Um, what I would want people to remember is that, remember your roots. Consumerism and social media trends have made us believe that we need a new phone every 2 years or a new outfit for every new outing, but that's not very Indian, per se. In fact, I feel like with the way that we are going, being patriotic today is also about those small mindful choices to make. And One thing that I want to, like, because I've experienced it firsthand, right, is to be able to shift the narrative that climate is not a sacrifice. You're not, it does not come at a cost. It is an opportunity. It's an opportunity to be innovative, to be cool, to discover new startups. If you want to appear cool, then, why not be the first one in your circle to try something sustainable, and make climate action aspirational, right? That way you can literally make the climate cool again.
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
Garvita, what book or podcast would you recommend to someone just starting out in climate and they are feeling very passionate, but they just don't know how to action it. So, what resources would you recommend to someone who just wants to know more about doing something in climate?
There are plenty of books out there and plenty of podcasts. What I generally follow is this, are these no short snackable videos by Rain Matter Foundation. It's called the Climate Brief. It explains climate in a very hassle-free, jargon-free style and makes the issues relatable and easy to understand, because it's talking about you, it's talking about the problems that you are going through. So I think that has really helped me, and with these short attention spans that we have,
Mhm.
I think it's a good start.
Thank you so much for sharing that. So, that brings us to the end of the episode. But do you have any parting words for young people or people who want to switch into climate communications and want to work in climate? Do you have any tips or insights for them?
Yeah, so it is that climate is not just for scientists or policymakers, and it's not one big thing, it's 10 small things, right? It needs communicators, it needs designers, it needs storytellers, it needs entrepreneurs, and most importantly, it needs people who will actually implement it in their day-to-day lives, right? For young people and career switchers, if you're interested and really looking forward to working in climate, find the intersection of your skills with climate. Every role has a green angle, like I previously also said, right? Don't wait for the perfect role. If you are not being able to find it, keep doing your regular jobs. But, maybe volunteer, on the sides, be it writing, be it volunteering at a beach cleanup, supporting a climate-led business, every action counts.
Yeah, no, I
No, I
agree. Thank you so much. That brings us to the end of our episode. Thank you so much, Gavita, for taking out the time today to be
of
here. And I really liked how you said that, we should make climate more aspirational because being in climate, working for climate is really cool. To everyone listening and watching, I hope this resonated with you as well. Thank you for sticking with us till the end. See you in the next episode.